All right, Shalom. This is the brother Nahal from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah. And a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the one they ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is the name of the one they ignorantly call Jesus. Bahashem is in the name. Rakah is spirit, Kodash is holy, Akyam is brothers, Akwath is sisters, Shalom means peace, and Yashar Allah is Israel in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. Again, this is Revelation chapter 13, and I'm jumping down to verse 16. And it reads, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Now, this lesson is based on this article, okay? And this is published February 15th, 2023, okay? All right, it says micromanagement. Outrage sparked over companies requiring employees to be microchipped, with officials calling to make it a felony. All right, so I want to go into this through the spirit. You know, I grabbed this precept first and foremost because we are in the time, Lord willing, of the year of all the prophecies, Lord willing, being fulfilled. All right. Now we see one step closer. Every day we wake up through the spirit, there's one day closer to Yahweh Shai's arrival, as well as prophecy coming to pass. All right. Now keep in mind the date of this. Look at that, 144, the Wadi Habashim Yahweh Shai, Lord willing. But it's February 15th, 2023. So this is recent. OK, so I want to read a little bit of this. All right, it says some companies are said to have been controversially microchipping their employees in the U.S. The practice could soon become a felony in Alabama, though. Now, you have to keep in mind that sedition is going to happen in the United States. Now, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So when you see that the government, all right, is attempting to make this a felony, understand that that's just the state of Alabama. All right. And that's why I want to bring that precept out, because you can see that there is opposition to a certain degree. A lot of that is controlled opposition. But understand that as this system gets to unroll, all right, you're going to have a lot of Edomites who see through the bullshit, roughly paraphrasing. And they're going to fight against it because they realize that their own elites are stealing their freedom from them. OK, because ultimately that's what this is about. It's about control. All right. So when you see that the state of Alabama is trying to make this a felony, don't make it a thing of they're rebelling against the system. This is just a lot of this is controlled opposition. But ultimately, we know through the spirit of prophecy that these things are going to come to pass. All right. I just want to put that out there as a caveat. All right. Continuing, it says this. The practice could soon become a felony in Alabama, though, as an anti-microchipping bill is being introduced by 3 state Democrats. Now, keep in mind, in order for the Senate, you know, I believe this is the Senate, to even try to invoke a anti-microchipping bill, that means that to a certain degree, there is a threat of this system being pushed out here. All right. They don't make laws for no reason. OK, so understand that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai. And this is for those who are still on the fence about what the MOTB is. All right. When you wake up every day and you just scroll through the news, you can see that little by little, bit by bit, this system is being pushed out. OK, now look at this. It says the microchips can be inserted into human hands. Now, this is easy, bro. This is easy. Revelation 13 and 17. I'll start at 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. Now, this is plain. We're witnessing what the Lord said would happen in these last days, man. All right. Real quick. This is Isaiah 46 and 10. Because when this is unrolled, all right, when this starts to show itself in full, all right, you're going to know who the Lord was actually dealing with. Lord willing, we be a part of that number, beginning with our apostles and elders on down, man. All right. That's why the scriptures say, then shall they know a prophet have been among them. Not just the heathens, but those of the circumcision as well, who have said that the MOTB has been all these different type of things, whether it be sin, whether it be Christianity, whether it be sleeping with Edomite women, whatever the case may be. Ultimately, the Spirit of the Lord is going to reveal itself according to prophecy. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 46 and verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am power and there is none else. I am power and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. Because the apostles were talking about this when it was just science fiction. Now every day, all right, or at least once a week, you hear some kind of news article, some kind of news clip bringing up this technology. OK, continuing, it says the bill aims to make it illegal for companies to require their employees to have chips inserted. These chips are usually inserted into human hands. They can act as passes to open doors or allow you to log into computers. Some even let you buy things from vending machines. OK, again, I'm going to hit it again. Revelation 13, and we're going to 16 again. Repetition is the father of skill. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right, now continuing, it says this: the practice is said to improve security and make it harder for criminals to hack into private data. All right, now we know this was going on in Wisconsin, but I want to bring this out as well for edification's sake. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right, because these things have been written aforetime for our learning. All right, the Lord said he would declare the end from the beginning. All right, and the things that are not yet done. And I think about how powerful that is, right? Our apostles were talking about this when this was just literally science fiction. You deal with the 80s. This technology was foreign. It seemed like science fiction to most people if you would have heard what our apostles were talking about at the time that they were talking about this through the Spirit. Now we're in 2023, and this is just a common conversation. Putting C-hips in people. All right. Now, continuing, it says, according to NBC News, Wisconsin-based Three Square Market C-hipped 100 employees in 2017. Several companies in Sweden are also said to have C-hipped staff. Democratic Representatives Prince Chestnut, Anthony Daniels, and Kelvin Lawrence are introducing the anti-C-hip bill in Alabama. They want to prevent people from being forced to get a C-hip in order to work somewhere. The group hasn't revealed any businesses in Alabama that are forcing workers to get C-hipped. Representative Chestnut said they're being presumptive. All right. They're being presumptive. What does that mean? OK. Of the nature of presumption, presumed in the absence of further information. All right. Let's go to Webster's definition. Based on probability or presumption, giving grounds for reasonable opinion or belief. So they have a reasonable belief that this is going to be something that is going to hit the earth. All right. That's going to hit not only the United States, but it's going to hit globally. They mentioned Wisconsin and then they mentioned Sweden. You already have a lot of nations that have went to a cashless system. The C-hip is a platform to push this. When you think about Bitcoin, all right, when you think about digital currencies in themselves, think about that. Just really sit back and think there is no reliable method of use. You can use your phone in certain situations, but they're going to say that that's too liable. People can just snatch your phone. So the next reasonable alternative is what? Is placing it inside of you. All right. You saw that the article mentioned security. All right. Real quick. It says this. Let me start up because it mentioned security at one point. It says the practice is said to improve security and make it harder for criminals to hack into private data. They're going to use the same excuse when they transition the money to digital. Just using your phone, it can be hacked. Just using your phone, somebody can steal it. Think about how many people's phones are going to get stolen if this system transitioned to digital money and the only way you could pay is your phone. People would just sit outside of certain stores and just wait till people walk out looking at their phone and just snatch it and run. That's going to be the excuse to have it inscribed inside of you. All right. I'm trying to use my words carefully through the Spirit. All right. Now, again, it says they're being presumptive. All right. It says they are urging people to consider the ethical and constitutional implications of technology. It says requiring staff to have C-hips is already banned in states like Indiana and California. All right. Now, this is about staff. All right. This is about employees. Keep that in mind, because they're not saying anything about the currency. They're not saying anything about using this for an identification system or for monetary policy. They're not saying anything about that. This is dealing with specifically employees and work. All right. But you can easily see how this system can be transitioned. And we know, according to prophecy, that it will be. Matter of fact, see, it's supposed to look impossible to the average person. It's supposed to seem far-fetched to the average person. That's why this prophecy is going to come to pass. All right. Habakkuk 1:5. Behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you. So it's being said, it was being said by our apostles, man, in the late 80s, in the 80s. I'll say it like that. This was being discussed. Our apostles were talking about this when it was literally science fiction. As the scriptures say, the Lord will work a work in your days, which you will not believe, though it be told you. It's supposed to seem impossible to the average person, man. Meanwhile, right? Meanwhile, if we look at articles, these things are being brought out in the forefront. All right. And I want to keep this lesson short and sweet through the Spirit, because the point is the point. All right. We're one day closer. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. We're one day closer to the King coming. All right. And as the King approaches, prophecy becomes more and more and more visible. All right. Matter of fact, I want to touch this too, because either you see it or you don't, man. It's that simple. Titus 1:15. Unto the pure, all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled. All right. So ultimately, we're in that time through the Spirit, and the Lord is making these things manifest. All right. So I just wanted to hit these points through the Spirit to keep it short and efficient. Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'll put the description to the article. I'll put the article in the description, Salakia. All right. And again, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'll say shalom.